the entire debate is about who is the perpetrator and who is the victim. In this case, it is quite evident to everyone that the Hindu community there, which was targeted in Karauli, is the victim. But this is not just about Karauli. It's about Khargone. It's about all the places where processions during Ram Navami were targeted. Now, Tejasvi Surya is national president of the BJP Yuva Morcha. Tejasvi, the Rajasthan government says that you're trying to keep the issue on the boil. They say your intention is to keep the region on the boil, is to create a communal atmosphere in the state. They say, Tejasvi, that Karauli will be investigated, but why is the BJP trying to incite on the basis of that issue? Tejasvi.
Arnab, we had made it explicitly clear to the authorities in the state that the BJYM will be undertaking a Nyay Yatra. The objective of the Yatra was twofold. One, to seek justice for the victims of the violence. Two, more than 200 Hindu families are contemplating migrating from Karauli. The objective of this Yatra was to meet them, give them moral courage and strength, and tell them that the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha and the BJP is firmly with them and they should not migrate from Karauli. We wanted to take this procession in a constitutional, peaceful, lawful manner. Unlike the PFI, which gets explicit permissions to undertake processions across Rajasthan, we did not carry stones, we did not carry weapons, we did not carry any instruments which could incite or create violence. We were only armed with slogans of Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and we were demanding justice for the victims.
Yeah, but
the question that we must ask, Arnab, is not to me but to Ashok Gehlot's government. We must ask him, why is he scared? Why is he scared of the BJP going to Karauli and meeting with the victims of violence? Why is it that his police people, more than 1,000 of whom were deployed today, against 20-year-olds, 30-year-old Yuva Morcha Karyakartas in thousands, why were they not prompted, alerted to take action to prevent the violence from taking place in the first place in Karauli? The third question that Ashok Gehlot must answer is this. The prime accused who have been caught on camera perpetrating the violence have been seen taking part in peace committee meetings while the FIR mentions the very victims as perpetrators of violence. In early 90s, we saw migration of Hindus from Kashmir. Post the West Bengal elections, we saw Hindu families migrate from West Bengal to Assam, unable to bear the violence, post-poll violence in Mamata Banerjee's West Bengal. And today we are witnessing mass migration of Hindu families from Karauli.
No. Tejasvi, Tejasvi, two pointed questions to you. First, where is the angle of state complicity? One, you are almost suggesting through what you're saying, the way in which you are talking today, that there is an element of state complicity, as if almost the state was responsible for the attack on the Hindu procession on the day of the Hindu New Year. Second questions, the Lutyens media, the Lutyens groups, the pseudos, they say that, there was provocation. When the motorcycle rally takes place by the Hindu groups, there are provocative songs being played on loudspeakers. There was an attempt to provoke the Muslim community. Is there some truth in that?
Yeah. Well, for the first question, which was with respect to going to in Karauli, the complicity of the state, Arnab, almost 4 or 5 days before the violence took place, PFI, which seems to be one of the pet organizations which Ashok Gehlot is supporting and allowing it to spread its root across Rajasthan, in a written letter had explicitly warned rather, the state authorities that there will be violence. And your channel, Republic itself, has exposed through sting operations and candid videos of police authorities themselves of how the state authorities could have prevented the violence had they been instructed by their political bosses. This Ashok Gehlot-led government gives permission to PFI and such elements to undertake processions and organization and marches in different parts of the state, while they impose Section 144 the moment a Hindu festival comes. This government, led by Congress Ashok Gehlot, issues written orders to not cut power during the holy month of Ramzan in Muslim-dominated areas. While 144 section is imposed in Hindu areas to prevent them from taking out processions to celebrate festivals. Till how long will this Hindu-Muslim areas, Hindu area politics continue? We are celebrating the 75th year of our independence, Arnab, 75 years ago. On this very idea, this very two-nation theory basis, the country witnessed a bloody partition. And even today we are speaking of Muslim areas and Hindu areas. We are speaking of Hindu-Muslim minority. I say this categorically. If there is one person responsible for the violence that took place in Karauli, it is Ashok Gehlot. And this man has Hindu blood on his hands and he will pay for it. Insofar as your second question of provocation is concerned, I can only say this. Today, Jai Shri Ram may be a provocation. Tomorrow, Vande Mataram may be a provocation. The day is not far away when existing merely as a Hindu will itself be a provocation to these extremist elements. Because they believe Hindu to be a kafir. Our very existence can be provocative for them. And that is a day that is not too far away if this radicalization is not nipped in the bud, Arnab.
Tejasvi Surya is leading the charge against the Rajasthan government there and also elsewhere. Tejasvi, thank you very much for joining us on the debate.